Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Amolo Odinga's aide or bodyguard, that is George Oduor, passed on, and in his funeral, there were so many politicians that attended, and as usual, Raila Amolo Odinga and William Ruto had to lead that team. And in Siaya, so many speeches were made in support, in praise of George Oduor, but more specifically, it was also a platform for politicians to express their political ideas and opinions. And on this occasion, speeches were made, and the one that caught my attention is that one of James Orengo.
Let us build a society which is based on the Constitution and the rule of law. We can say many things. And me, I cannot be praise singing, because we fought for a democratic constitution where people should talk, where people should talk, where people should talk. I was in parliament when people used to tell Moi that Moi hakuna mahali utaenda, you will be in power until the day you want to go. They told Moi, and I was in parliament at that time, there are only a few of us who said we cannot have this system of government. And Raila was the head at that time when Jaramogi had died, that we do not want that system of government. So I am asking you Kenyans, this constitution that we fought for, it is a very difficult document to keep. And if you keep on, song praising all the time, we will not have a country. So I urge you, tell your leaders the truth. Tell your leaders the truth. And know that even when, President, when you came here the first time, I was the only one who was here. I was the only one. I was here because I was convinced that institutions must work. A lot of my, even Otiende here said he cannot come. I tried to persuade him. I was here alone with you because I don't song praise. I believe that you are the president and we are going to talk. So this country will go to the dogs again if the kind of language I'm hearing here, you continue with that language. Please, when you have something being brought to Siaya, it is a matter of right. It is not you are being given, it's a matter of right. It's a matter of right.
James Orengo, as I've always said here, is always a sober leader. Whether it was the time he was with Raila Amolo Odinga's opposition side, or if it's now after Raila Amolo Odinga has joined the government, Orengo has always been speaking his mind. Recently, he praised Kikuyus and said that we have to respect them for, first of all, producing the Mau Mau, which led to the independence of this country. And I think that was a strong point because it was simply echoing what I've been saying here before. Thirdly, Orengo has always been giving a sober mind on whatever Raila Amolo Odinga does. And as a result, that's where James Orengo is not a party official within the ODM party. Secondly, that's why he's not even in good terms with Raila Amolo Odinga as we speak today. So, ladies and gentlemen, Orengo said something in this funeral that caught my attention, and that is a warning to President William Ruto. That is going to form the basis of this analysis here today. But before I take you through, kindly if this is the first time you're watching my videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Let me dive into the topic today. What is this warning that James Orengo gave William Samoei Arap Ruto? As you can hear from James Orengo, the warning is very clear that the Constitution of Kenya is being mutilated. And it has to stop. People are going against the law, right, left, and center in William Ruto's government. And that is why I want to talk about it here on this channel today. The reasons as to why I feel that James Orengo did that, it's because of the actions of the police ever since President William Ruto got into power. If you remember, the first round of intimidation started with Dr. Fred Matiang'i, where a contingent of police officers were used to go to his home and harass him, actually destroy his house, go inside, turn things right, left, and center to ensure they don't know what they were looking for. Apart from that, the police were also used against Uhuru Kenyatta's kid, Uhuru Kenyatta himself. So even we saw a certain time where the police officers were withdrawn from Uhuru Kenyatta's farm management to simply allow the goons to get in and destroy properties. That is a clear indication that the country is heading to a wrong direction and that the police are used wrongly, and that's against the constitution. Orengo was categorical to warn President William Ruto that this is not taking you to the right path, and that you're going to go home if this continues until 2027, and that the country is going to go into chaos if William Ruto is not very careful. That is the warning to President William Ruto from James Orengo. And the police was the key reason as to why James Orengo was speaking against this. Apart from that, I can also talk about the issues to do with abductions. Abductions have been occurring, and there are allegations that the police officers of this country are used to abduct people, torture, kill, or sometimes release them. This kind of an act has been against the constitution, and James Orengo is saying people are getting back to Moi era, and that is against the constitution and is very wrong for this country. We cannot regress instead of progressing. So in a nutshell, that was a clear one to President William Ruto that people will stop depending on the police and start defending themselves, because the police have started acting like they are rogue. When people are killed and abducted because of having a contrary opinion, then that is very clear that the country is not being run well. So he was telling President William Ruto, stop these shenanigans. Another thing is the issue to do with the freedom of speech. Recently, young kids from Butere Girls had what you call a play. Despite being written by Malala or whoever, still their freedom of expression was curtailed by the police officers. To an extent that the police officers are tear-gassing these young girls in front of other students, making students to go ahead and start singing Ruto must go. It has moved from millennials to Gen Zs. Now it is even Gen Alpha. They're also singing the same song, that Ruto must go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a clear indication that people are feeling the impact of President William Ruto of curtailing, of simply killing the freedom of speech. And that is very wrong against the constitution, and it is not taking the country in the right direction. Hence the warning from none other than the veteran James Agribob Orengo. And I always support Orengo. So another thing that I want to talk about here is that James Orengo is also categorical. Development, it is not a gift, or neither is it a favor, but it is a constitutional right. Once people pay taxes, they need development equally to all parts of the country. As we speak today, William Ruto is conducting journeys in the name of taking development projects. So if he does not go to a place, there's no development going there. If you do not vote for him, there's no development going there. So James Orengo is telling President William Ruto that the broad-based should not be the reason as to why you need to bring development. Whether you have broad-based or not, you should bring development to the people of any part of this country, including Nyanza. And it's not a favor that now once you bring development, you cannot be criticized. That is the message of Bob Agri Orengo to William Ruto. Because the tendency of William Ruto's people, whenever they come to speak about William Ruto's visit, the major song there is that is bringing development. So if he does not visit, there's no development. That is what Orengo is saying. It is not a favor to develop places, because it is the constitutional right and a requirement for every Kenyan in this country and every president. Therefore, it should not be like William Ruto is simply trying to be impressed for him to deliver. He has to, whether he likes it or not. Now, when Orengo was giving this speech, I saw the seriousness in him and the way the ground was receiving, which means people liked immensely what he was saying. And this kind of standing with the truth, it's the righteousness we want from the leaders of Kenya. Raila Amolo Odinga's name has been tarnished for selfishness, but that one of Orengo is being elevated for being consistent from opposition even until now is in government. And that is what we call democracy. Apart from that, it's also what we call leadership, where you are truthful to your people. So I was able to learn that people are receiving Orengo's message positively. One. Secondly, Orengo ended it by telling the youths, stand and rise up and fight for your rights. Meaning, is encouraging the youth to continue criticizing President William Ruto. But Raila and his team are castigating this. I realize there's contradiction in their messaging, but the fact is Orengo is the right person here because he's saying the correct thing that Kenyans need. As we speak today, members of parliament who should criticize the government have gotten lost. They're not doing anything, and we only have people who are independent like Orengo, people like Senator Okiya Omtata, people like Edwin Sifuna and Onyonka, who are trying to echo the voice of Kenyans across all sections of this economy and of this government. I don't know what's your take as far as the warning, but I think William Ruto must take Orengo's warning seriously than ever before. My name is Abel Mukwa. See you next time on this channel here. Please keep on supporting me on the videos that we do here. And I want to thank you so much for helping me to the 5,000 mark. Please keep on subscribing. Keep on supporting. For those who always want my number, it's on my bio, and sometimes I'll always be pinning here so that you guys can reach me out and share with me. For the comments that you guys make, I'm really humbled because from the comments I'm able to learn a lot. When I go wrong, I'm able to know like this analysis I made on this side, I did not do it well because there's a different opinion that people have that is correct than mine. So please, thank you so much for those who always take time to comment.